please share with the audience about, this is going to be your second run in New York's 9th. And please share with the audience, because Representative Clarke is obviously not as well known as Representative Jeffries or Representative Nadler, and obviously beforehand Representative Engel and Crowley. So if you can share with the audience, your platform, what you're fighting for, and obviously
a little bit about your district, because we know Brooklyn, but Brooklyn is fairly large and diverse.
Well, Isaiah will tell you, he will be representing
my
the
people
heart.
are from Brooklyn. My family.
Well, literally, this is the heart of Brooklyn. If you look on a map, it's right in the middle, central Brooklyn. It encompasses, for those folks who know, areas like Sheepshead Bay, Crown Heights, Flatbush, East Flatbush, Prospect Park, Park Slope, PLG. So it's literally in the center of Brooklyn. We have a amalgamation of folks from all over the world, especially the Caribbean diaspora and the African diaspora. This community is over 50% African American.
Right.
And the median income is a little bit around $50,000, but there are concentrated pockets of wealth where there are $4 or $5 million homes. Oh. And literally you can go a few blocks down the street and see some of the worst New York City public housing anywhere in the city. And that's not done on accident. That's done on purpose. You can't have that much of a gulf between, income inequality and educational outlooks and health outlooks unless it's done on purpose. And my representative is 2018, 2020, she took 93% of her donations from corporate PACs and big dollar donors, 93%. And you said she's not that well known. That's a damn shame. There are 535 members of Congress. That's it. Everybody should know who you are. You should be standing up there, beating the drums and pounding your chest, talking about the problems, what's going on in your community. Imagine if instead of, walking around courting big donors, you held the House floor and demanded that New York City be given the $60 billion it needs for public housing. Instead of, going to back rooms and doing smoke deals in smoke-filled rooms, imagine if you took the House floor and demanded that police cars and these damn police towers be taken off the corners in our neighborhoods, and that we defund police forces all over this country from federal dollars and use that money to have educational programs and after-school programs and job placement programs. If you criminalize poverty, you make my existence as a human being criminal. You've already criminalized blackness in this country. That's why even with a suit and a tie on, I can walk out of my front door as a 6'8" black man and still look like the suspect, because you criminalized blackness. And now
you're 6'8"?
Yeah, I'm 6'8".
Oh my God. I had no idea you were that tall. I met you in person. Wow.
I remember you were tall. I don't remember you that tall. But
I'm 6'8". It's the reason why.
Well, I would be scared of you too.
It's the reason why I can put on a uniform, my uniform from the Army, and folks will shake my hand. But if I'm wearing my hoodie out the street, they'll cross the street. So we need a representative who is going to stand up for the people. You can't be firefighter and arsonist at the same time. A lot of these corporate Democrats say they're for these things, but we're never going to defeat that machine by taking that machine's money. So until we divorce this money from our politics, and until we get a better quality of representative into Congress, all of this stuff we're talking about and our echo chamber of pain and misery and sorrow is never going to burst through. Because you and I probably agree on pretty much the same thing. We might not agree how to get there, but we both agree that healthcare is a human right. We both agree that, police shouldn't shoot black people. We both agree that the military industrial complex has gotten out of control. But we're never going to be able to solve these problems if we don't have people who are elected in government willing to bring these problems to the forefront.
So my question, Isaiah, and I think this is very important because, one of the things that we've learned obviously down here with Wasserman Schultz and how she controls Broward, and the same was true for Crowley and the way he controlled Queens. Is Representative Clarke more or less the leader of the Brooklyn machine? Is that the best way you would describe, her power vacuum? She's been obviously in office in Congress for 14 years and has been representing this congressional district from the redistricting for the past 8 years. Like I said, she's kind of an under the radar representative. Even somebody like, Carolyn Maloney's even more known because of her race. But what can you share with us in terms of the dynamic, in terms of the way she governs, and as far as the Brooklyn political machine as it stands?
Well, the Brooklyn political machine is one of the oldest in the country. This is This is old politics up here. This is Tammany Hall. This is,
Tweed.
the robber barons and all that stuff. That's what this is. And folks, I mean, this is like one of the oldest political machines in the country. And yes, her mother, Dr. Una Clarke, was one of the first, I think the first woman on city council. And the daughter, Yvette Clarke, Congresswoman Clarke, inherited her mother's city council seat. Then after that, she worked for the congressman that she later replaced, Congressman Major Owens. So her entire life has been politics, and the political machine. Yes, the Clarke family runs the political machine in Central Brooklyn. There might be other players, but they're one of the major players in there. And it's political suicide if you want to challenge them. But I've always said I'm not a politician. I'm a public servant. So what can you do to me that hasn't already been done to me in life? I've been shot, been blown up. I have hearing aids because my hearing was blown out from a damn IED. So I'm not scared to go up against anybody. I'm not scared to challenge the status quo, because what she's been doing obviously hasn't been working, because by every measurable metric, Black people in this community, working people in this community, are doing worse than when she took office. So by definition, you are a failure. You have not done the things that needed to be done. Housing, we live in the epicenter of gentrification in this neighborhood. It's $2,700 for a 2-bedroom apartment. I just told you a minute ago, the average income is $50,000. So if you can get a 2-bedroom, you are spending 70% of your income just on rent. That's how crazy it is. And it's almost bang your head against the wall, maddening that nobody is talking about this, let alone my representative.
Yeah, I want to just go back to something you said that I found really interesting and something I never really thought of before. But when you said about how we don't know who your representative is, that is pathetic. Yeah. Why we know the representatives that are actually fighting for what they believe in, even if it's not what we agree with. We know who those people are. So when we don't know who someone is, that means they're just sliding by as placeholders, doing absolutely nothing and just keeping things the way they are.
Think about it. Like this, she represents 775,000 people. That's how big our congressional district is. Like I said, there are 535 members. It's not like there's 50,000 of you and you can be excused for, oh, I don't know who that person is. There's 535. And you're representing New York and Brooklyn. This is Brooklyn. It's known all over the world. People should know exactly who you are and what you stand for, but they don't, because you're just skating by, coasting by, collecting a paycheck and not doing the work.
Thanks for watching. If you want to support our mission to transform politics into service, please like this video, subscribe, follow us on social media, and consider joining our Patreon, where you'll get early access to our interviews as well as other exclusive content. Links are in the description. Peace out.